Isabel, welcome back. Good to see you. What is the significance of Li's visit to Egypt?
Well, I think it's a sign of China's growing presence in what is a very important region, and it has a number of key relationships. It has very powerful investments and good relationships in the Gulf states, for example. It obviously has a relationship with Iran, although that is kind of symbolically important. In financial terms, it's much smaller than its relationships elsewhere. And Egypt is a really interesting case because Egypt has had a kind of strategic relationship with the United States over many years. But given the turbulence in the region and the uncertainty about the United States' foreign policy, it's created an opportunity for China to build a much closer relationship with Egypt. For example, the two heads of state met twice last year. That's highly significant. We see a growing interest in investment in Egypt, and for China, Egypt, as controller of the Suez Canal, is a key point in a region, given all the uncertainties around shipping because of recent conflicts. So this is a very strong signal, I think, that China is sending about its active diplomacy in a critical region.
And what about the timing? Why now? Why engage now?
Well, I mean, we have a region that is in conflict. It's not just that Li Qiang has turned up, as it were, today. For example, this year we saw a joint military exercise between Egypt and China that lasted 11 days. That was a substantive military engagement. We have talks about a security partnership in the sense that Egypt is interested in Chinese military technology. And I think these are all signals that China is prepared, to be present in a region in a different way from the United States. I think the announcement that they would work together on trying to bring about a ceasefire in Gaza is highly significant because neither has been actively engaged in the recent diplomatic negotiations around those conflicts. So that is very much China asserting a presence, and China has had very little experience of actively negotiating in a conflict zone. But on the other hand, it hasn't been engaged actively in military operations either. So it has credibility as a neutral partner if it can forge the kind of relationship with Egypt which would lead to some diplomatic outcome. That would be a significant win.
Neutral partners, you say, but I mean, realistically, on Gaza, for instance, could China and Egypt act together to try and stabilize things, given the almost seemingly intractable position of those other players?
Yeah, I think if anyone had a magic solution in Gaza, that would truly be remarkable. But I think that China's interest is significant, and I also think it's a significant signal that Egypt is engaged in a kind of active security conversation with China rather than with the United States. So I think we're seeing a kind of shifting, possibly, of momentum. It has a long way to go, and I don't think that this is going to achieve a result tomorrow. But I do think that China's apparent willingness, at least to state an interest in getting involved, is a significant step forward.
Isabel, good to see you. Thanks very much for coming back on the programme. Isabel Hilton, the founder of China Dialogue.